Hello and welcome to the first episode in a Holy Trinity Racing rider education series. The aim of this series is to collate footage from various teams around the Australian International Pedal Prix and bring them together to present it as a tool for learning and growing. Remember, there's never anything wrong with making a mistake. The fault lies in not learning anything from it. So this series is not intending to criticise or demean anyone. It's just an opportunity to share a little bit of experience, to share a little bit of footage, to grow our team together and build that understanding between us all. Please ask us if you have any questions about any of these clips. We're going to get started with some clips. The first clip here is a good example of a good way to take a corner. Many of the clips following this one have riders who get into trouble because they don't take a similar approach. The key things to take away from this clip are that the rider maintains a consistent line through the corner, allows space between their trikes and other trikes, and also sounds their horn early to warn other riders of their presence. Moving into clip 2, which gives an indication of the importance of scanning the road ahead of you. As a rider, and in the future as the driver of a motor vehicle, you need to be aware of a lot of things going on around you. Your focus should be moving through the short, medium and long distance at regular intervals, determining the best line to avoid hazards. At the same time, it's important learning for vehicles coming out of pit lane. You need to keep a consistent line and use your mirrors to check for oncoming traffic before moving. Additionally, as you move, you want to do it gradually on as consistent line as you can, rather than just zigzagging back and forth across the track. Similar to the previous clip, this is just a reminder not to make any sudden or unusual moves when coming out of pit lane. Maintain consistency as you exit the lane and allow the faster vehicles to choose their line around you. You should be moving forward more than you're moving across the track. This clip is an example of why it's important to maintain a stable line throughout a riding stint. This is coming up on the fastest point of the Loxton circuit. The pink trike does a great job of maintaining a stable line through most of the downhill, and we can see at this point here, the rider in the vehicle is aiming to take the gap between the pink and the white trikes to set them up for the 90-degree corner at the end of the straight. The pink trike then turns across the track, contact occurs, and thankfully all vehicles are okay and there's no one injured. Could have ended up quite messy if it was a few degrees either way. This clip again is looking at maintaining a line through corners. The clip begins a series of such clips where contact has caused vehicles to flip. Our focus here is the black trike on the right hand side of the footage. The rider makes a good check to give the pink trike room as it moves through the inside on the corner, but a series of events happen that cause this sequence to finish poorly. Firstly, the black trike decides at the apex of the corner that it's going to try and undercut the pink trike again, which can be a dangerous move alone at speed and lead to flipping. The trike moving to overtake through the corner doesn't sound their horn or warning device, giving no indication that they're there. And the trike moving to overtake didn't prepare for the move by the black trike and didn't give them room in case they were to move inside on this corner. Contact occurred and the black trike flips over. Right at the end of the clip, which we're about to get to, we see another trike on the right-hand side of the overtaking trike, which suggests that it may have been hard for them to give additional room, but the first 2 points still apply. You want to make sure you're giving other people room to do their thing. This is another prepare early clip. This one's interesting because it appears as though the rider would have had the pace to make a passing move on the uphill section coming out of this corner, but instead decided to take a risk. Pausing the clip here, you can see that the nose of the vehicle is currently not pointing at the track, suggesting that the rider has chosen a line too narrow for this corner. When taking a corner at the center point or apex, you want to have the nose of the trike facing down the track towards where you want to be racing. Trying to complete the turn from this angle at the speed the rider was traveling at may have resulted in a roll regardless of contact. However, we see contact occurs and then the flip. Remember, it's better to lose 2 seconds in a corner than 2 minutes roadside in a crash, or 2 hours in the pits to fix a trike before we can race again. This one is a little bit tricky as the trike looks destined to crash when we first get footage of it, and we're going to see this twice. Other vehicles around it suggest that it might have been tapped in the tail and put into this position of no return. Now this kind of contact can be caused by drivers moving away from their line through the corner, getting wider as opposed to getting narrower as we've seen. As much as you can, try and hold a consistent, predictable line where possible. This clip sees the yellow trike take a good line around the first part of a double apex hairpin, two 90-degree corners that are very close together. Performance on the first part of the corner always impacts performance on the second. As we get to this point in the video, we see the yellow trike looks set to make another good move around the second part of the corner. However, the green trike on the inside of the turn has given the rider something extra to think about. The rider in the yellow trike holds course for a fraction longer than they should and are forced to produce a sharper turn to make the corner. This sudden movement brings them up onto two wheels. Their momentum carries them towards the barriers as they touch down again, and another reflex response sends them into a flip. Sudden movements when travelling through corners at speed, especially negative camber corners like this, can lead to instability in the trike. That's all we have time for today. Saw something that you learned? Let us know in the comments. This has been Holy Trinity Racing. Until next time.